Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Thursday, the 20th of June. Good to have you aboard, part of the Believe Podcast Network, and presented as always by Anidjar and Levine, Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733, title sponsor of everything, ZASLOW Show 2.0. And of course, if you're looking to get into some action, I send you to BetOnline. BetOnline, your number one source for all your sports betting needs this summer. Baseball, golf, soccer, all the top fights in UFC, MMA, boxing, every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. And when the game is over, head on over to our online casino. Get in on a game of blackjack, poker, maybe unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the BetOnline website today. Get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. So glad to have you here with us. Of course, again, second day in a row. It's going to happen again tomorrow. Late edition of ZASLOW Show 2.0. This is how we got to roll when we're doing ESPN. So second day in a row, did ESPN Radio, filling in for Chris Carlin. Carlin versus Joe. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can always go back and listen where we hit on all the big national stories. I'm representing Miami, of course. So wherever you're listening to ZASLOW Show 2.0, you can go back and you can listen to Carlin versus Joe from today or yesterday, whatever. I can't control what you do. So go check that out. That's why we're coming at you later today. We're going to come at you later tomorrow. A couple things as well. So I just told you we're doing Carlin versus Joe again tomorrow. I told you I'm doing right now. This was day 3. This is day 3 of 14 consecutive days that I'm doing ESPN Radio. How about that? How you like that? So tomorrow, you guys know that I'm doing noon to 3. I'm doing Carlin versus Joe again. So ZASLOW Show 2.0 will come at you after that around the same time as today. But tomorrow morning, how about this? In studio, Levine Show. That's right. So tomorrow morning, I'm driving downtown Miami to the Elser Hotel. I will be doing the entire local hour. I can't do more than that because I got to get back home and, I got to make a living, So I'm doing ESPN Radio at noon, but I will be on the entire local hour from 9 to 10 a.m. Levine Show in studio. I am very much looking forward to that, and I hope you guys hang out with us. You've been asking for it, and it worked out that we could do it tomorrow. So I will be in with those guys. Now, today's Thursday, so you guys know. We're going to get to some mailbag questions in a minute. You guys got some good stuff here. I appreciate that. Also, coming up in a few minutes here, Roy Bellamy is going to join us. That's right. Roy, Panthers superfan from the Dan Levitard Show. We're going to catch him en route to Edmonton. That's right. Right now, as we speak. Now, you're listening in the future, all right? No spoilers. Don't tell me what happens. You're listening in the future, but right now, as I speak, Roy Bellamy is driving from Calgary, Alberta to Edmonton, Alberta. He flew in earlier today. He had a connection flight somewhere. We'll get all the details. But right now he's in a rental driving from the airport in Calgary to Edmonton. We're going to catch him on the drive. We're going to get some details, and we're going to get everybody fired up as far as the Panthers go. Now, as far as the Panthers go in tomorrow night, we talked a lot about it yesterday, of course. I don't have a whole lot to add today. We'll get more into it tomorrow because it's game day and we'll be feeling it. There are a couple changes. We know that Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who's been great this series, Oliver Ekman-Larsson has been moved up to the top. He's the point man now on the top power play unit, which I think they switched him to late in the game in game 5. He's been great this series, and also it moves Montour down. And, is it a demotion for Montour? Look, Brandon Montour likely lost a lot of sleep over the last couple nights, thinking that he cost the team the game. His errant pass on the blue line on the power play gave up the shorthanded goal, the breakaway, and the Oilers went up 1-0. And the Panthers, they lost 5-3, but empty that goal. That goal was a killer. It cost the team the game. That was Brandon Montour. Bad job. So Oliver Ekman-Larsson has taken his spot on the top power play unit. And don't forget, maybe you didn't know, Oliver Ekman-Larsson has been a scoring defenseman for most of his career. So this is not an unusual spot for him. I like the change. Also, the fourth line which Paul Maurice has been juggling around all throughout the playoffs. He juggled half of it last game by Lomberg getting into the lineup, being centered by Kevin Stenlund and Kyle Oposo on the other side. He came in for Lawrence last game. Well, now Lomberg is still in. Nick Cousins is going to get his shot. So Nick Cousins in, Kyle Oposo out. I feel a little bit bad about that because if the Panthers win tomorrow night, I would like Oposo to be on the ice in uniform. But listen, it is what it is. I'm trying to win a Stanley Cup here. I don't necessarily care who the guys are that are on the ice. I'm trying to win this thing and raise Lord Stanley's Cup tomorrow night. So a couple of changes right there for you as far as tomorrow goes. Can't say that I dislike them. I certainly understand where we're coming from. I feel good about tomorrow night. So we'll get a bit of a heat check. We'll take Roy Bellamy's pulse. We'll see what he's got going on, how he feels about the game. I mean, very tough to get a read off of him sometimes. He's very stoic. All right. Straight face, great poker face. So we'll get Roy on with us in a few minutes. We'll get to all of that and we'll see how he feels. But I feel great about the Panthers. The same way that exactly what I told you the other day. If we have to play a game 6, I'm going to be excited and feel really great. You know why? Because the Panthers have a chance to win the Stanley Cup tomorrow night in game 6. So I feel great. Now, I'm going to be on the verge of projectile vomit the entire game. Would it be nice to be up 3-0 after the first period? Fuck yeah. But I don't know if those are the cards that we're going to be dealt. But going into tomorrow night, I feel good right now. I'll be incredibly nervous tomorrow, but I'm going to be insanely excited because we get a third crack at winning the Stanley Cup. We've never won the Stanley Cup. How could I not be insanely excited for tomorrow night's game 6? And I really think that's the attitude that everyone should have. You know what? We're going to wind up looking back. If the Panthers win tomorrow night and they go up 4-2, win 4 games, excuse me. If the Panthers win tomorrow night and they win the series 4-2, we're going to look back on it saying, oh my God, we're freaking out of the Oilers winning 2 games. Panthers won 4-2. Didn't even have to go 7. We're all freaking out. This shit is hard. I already went through that whole thing yesterday with you, so I don't need to do it again. But it's all going to work out. The Panthers are the better team. The Panthers are the adult in the room. And now, look, you can't come out and lay an egg in the first period like the Panthers have done a bunch of times this postseason. That's going to be a huge factor tomorrow, how they start the game. All right, we'll get to Roy in a few minutes, but you know what? Let's get right to it. Let's get to ZASLOW Show 2.0 mailbag. So I got some fun questions from you guys. I always appreciate you hanging out with us and participating in the show. First, though, I want to make sure everybody knows about the summer sales event that's going on right now at North Fort Lauderdale Subaru. If you're listening right now and you're thinking about getting yourself a new car, luckily for you, I only endorse North Fort Lauderdale Subaru, where you got the summer sales event going on. You could make no down payment, make 0 payment for 3 months, 0 security deposit. Plus, right now, you get 0% APR financing on select new Subarus. And right now, you get 0% APR up to 72 months on the Subaru Solterra. How about right now during the summer sales event? You could lease the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek for just $219 a month. 36 months with $59.95 due at signing with approved credit. Go to nflsubaru.com. That's nflsubaru.com. Get all the details. North Fort Lauderdale Subaru. Don't miss the summer sales event going on all month long. North Fort Lauderdale Subaru, the location you know with an experience you'll love. All right, let's get to it here. First question here. This is from Heater361. And he's saying, ZASLOW, when are you going to bring back Guy Paquette? Excellent question. I think if the Panthers, now everybody knows, back at ZASLOW and Amber Show, everybody knows, and of course ZASLOW Show, everybody knows Guy Paquette. He's our hockey correspondent, all right? I haven't employed Guy in a couple of years, all right? But I think if the Panthers win the Stanley Cup, we probably got to get Guy Paquette. I'll hire him. We'll send him out to the parade, the celebration. Maybe I'll get him there on the ice tomorrow night, where if the Panthers win, maybe we can get some audio from Guy Paquette. That's a good idea. Good job out of you. All right. Uso family says, ZASLOW, where will people be partying if and when the Panthers win? Broward or Miami? Pots and pans. Great question. I think it's going to be Broward because if they win tomorrow night, you got to figure the fans in the arena, which is sold out, the watch party, they're going to spill out onto the streets there across from the Sawgrass. I would imagine you have all the news cameras there, the news trucks. So I think probably outside the Sawgrass Mall. But I don't even want to think about a parade route, that kind of stuff. I don't like thinking that way until it happens. All right, let's see. JOACO Miami. All right. Joko Miami says, ZASLOW, is Ekblad not playing tomorrow night? I don't know why you would think that. Ekblad has been fantastic. He's really had a great playoff. You know, he was a disaster, if you remember. What was it, in game 1 against Boston, right? He's really had a terrific playoff. That's my dog right there, Aaron Ekblad. Mike in West Palm, can we get an on-the-record prediction for Friday night? This isn't difficult for me. You want me to go on the record? I'll go on the record. Sometimes you got to go on the record. I'm on the record. You ready? Yo, Panthers are close this baby out tomorrow night. How about that for on the record? This thing ends in Edmonton tomorrow night with Sasha Barkov hoisting the Stanley Cup over his head, and the Florida Panthers win their first ever Stanley Cup. How about that? That's on the record. Know what I'm talking about. All right, everybody calm down. This question is from Terry. ZASLOW, are we going to do this tomorrow? Terry, you're not listening? I just went on the record. Of course we're going to do this tomorrow night. Yes, it is our time. This next question here is from Nick's Hex. He says, ZASLOW, what's your opinion on Jazz Chisholm dumping a jug of water on top girl Jessica Blaylock the other night? Excellent question, Nick's Hex. Also, excellent reference to Jessica Blaylock being a top girl. We all know that she is. So if you didn't see this a couple of nights ago, actually, the Marlins have walked off 2 nights in a row, from what I understand, but they get no love on ZASLOW Show 2.0 because fuck Bruce Sherman. And so a couple of nights ago, Jessica Blaylock is doing the on-field interview with whoever got the game-winning hit, and Jazz Chisholm comes over to, dump the Gatorade bottle on him, but just instead dumps it all on Jessica. She's soaking wet. I hope she had a change of clothes. I mean, what do I think of it? It's obviously fun. She's like the sweetest girl, so I'm sure she didn't care. But man, it's got to be a little bit annoying. If she didn't have a change of clothes, that's a nuisance. So there you go. Let's see. C-Mac McIntyre says, ZASLOW, is the Summer of Jonathan still a thing? Well, here's the thing. I suppose Summer of Jonathan is still a thing, but Summer of Jonathan, if you don't know, if you're a new listener to ZASLOW Show 2.0, welcome. I love you long time. Summer of Jonathan I was so busy throughout the year doing the morning show on 790 The Ticket and doing Miami Heat basketball in the evenings that I was worn down by the time the basketball season came to an end. So the summer was Summer of Jonathan, where I get to relax and reconnect with the family and recharge my batteries because I'm no longer working evenings. So I suppose it's a Summer of Jonathan, but I don't need that anymore. Like, I don't live that way anymore. I'm on my own schedule with ZASLOW Show 2.0, and I'm not out late night every other night doing Heat games. So it's more like the summer of Jonathan, the fall of Jonathan, the spring of Jonathan, the winter of Jonathan, if that makes it easier. And finally here, one more question from the Dude Abides. Says, ZASLOW, what's the Heat's first move now that the Celtics won a championship? How do we fuck Boston now? I hope, I don't have an answer to that question in particular, but I hope that not only Boston winning, but the fact that because the Heat couldn't land Damian Lillard, and that inadvertently gave Boston Drew Holiday, which then helped Boston win the championship. I don't think they win it without him, but specifically because it was Boston and Pat Riley hates Boston. I hope that not that he's re-energized, because that'd be like, if Pat Riley needs to be re-energized, that's a problem. So re-energized is not the word I'm looking for, but I just hope there's a real focus on making a big change and completing the big change because of the Celtics winning, because fuck them, right? All right. And that right there is another edition of ZASLOW Show 2.0 Mailbag.